Hello again everyone and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. We are finally back in this wonderful land of Dragon Age, and it's been a hell of a long time, of course, since this game. I will give a little bit of a recap again if I can, like I did with The Witcher. So basically the story so far is that, from what I remember, is we are a human born of noble birth. We're noble. Yeah, to a kind of, powerful family. One of the counts, I believe, or one of those kinds of characters. Um, and we were there. We were set to stay behind, I do believe, while our father went to battle with the Darkspawn, uh, or a certain battle of some sort anyway, and the Grey Warden, a Grey Warden showed up and tried to recruit us because apparently he saw potential. Duncan, I believe his name was. It was Duncan. So that all happened, and then we went to rest for the night, and then all of a sudden, our father's supposed friend turned on him, turned his back, and attacked everyone in the castle. Tried to take over the castle for himself. Slaughtered pretty much everyone there, including my father himself, and my mother was left there to basically hold off people while I escaped with Duncan and the others. So then we got to Ostagar, where we began training to be a Grey Warden, or to prepare for the especially to prepare for the battle against the Darkspawn. We did all the trials. We were already set for the battle, and we had a plan in place. Us, the King, the Grey Wardens, everything. And we executed our bit of the plan. The battle was going on. We lit our signal flare to signal the reinforcements to come in. And the reinforcements were led by a man called Tyrion Logain, who, again, turned his back on us. And he signalled the retreat instead of coming to save the King. And that led to both the King and Duncan himself being killed. So now everything is in ruins. Because not only have they been killed, but Tyrion Logain has actually blamed the failure on the Grey Wardens, which means we are not very popular people to people who believe him, and now we have a goal to gather an army to try and fight off the Darkspawn, as well as actually convincing people that Tyrion Logain is a bit of a prick, which he is. We can all agree on that. So I'm going to quickly check in my journal here. So we have all these. So the two dwarves who we met outside of Lothering actually have showed up to our party camp for some reason, and we have these as well. Deliver the subscription to the remaining conscripts. So we delivered it to Patagrich, I do believe. We need to get to Denerim and Redcliffe to do the rest. The Blight, this is all main stuff. So we have all these. We need to gather everyone together. We need to find Arlaim and Redcliffe. We need to get Orzammar, the dwarfs, on our side, and we need to get the Dalish elves and the mages. So it's a lot of people. Let's have a letter that we can deliver to people in Redcliffe, and then there's all these premium content. Apparently a merchant is set up in the camp as well, which is also a bit of premium content. Apparently a fellow survivor of Ostagar has escaped the prisons of Ban Loren and is seeking the aid of the Grey Wardens. So apparently in the deep woods of the estate of Ban Loren, is a survivor of some sort. So we have we've got bits and pieces to do. Why are we walking? I apologise if this has been so long coming, by the way. I've had a lot of issues trying to get it all to work. I'm pretty sure we spoke to everyone about everything.
You are
didn't we?
not quite as callow as I thought.
Oh,
That is unexpected.
thanks, I guess.
You're welcome.
I remember Sten. He's very to the point, isn't he? So you tell me why you were caged?
I caged myself. A weak mind is a deadly foe, as you are no doubt aware.
Exactly what happened.
I told you before that I was sent here. I was not sent alone.
Oh.
I came to your lands with 7 of the Beresad, my brothers, to seek answers about the Blight.
Okay.
We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat we were sent to observe. Until the night we camped by Lake Calenhad. They came from everywhere. The earth beneath our feet, the air above us. Our own shadows harbored the darkspawn.
Oh dear.
I saw the last of the creatures cut down, too late. I fell.
What happened to the other Canary?
I am told no others survived.
Ah.
I don't know how long I lay on the battlefield among the dead, nor do I know how the farmers found me. I only know that when I woke I was no longer among my brothers, and my sword was gone
So
from
it's
my
totally
hand.
ambushed, basically. Damn. You probably... What did you do?
I searched for it, and when that failed I asked my rescuers what had become of it.
The farmers know where it was?
They said they found me with nothing.
Did you believe them?
I did. I knew they didn't have the blade. They had no reason to lie to me. I panicked. Unthinking, I struck them down.
Oh dear. So that was why. You panicked over a lost blade?
That sword was made for my hand alone. I have carried it from the day I was set into the Beresad. I was to die wielding it for my people. Even if I could cross Ferelden and Tevinter unarmed and alone to bring my report to the Arishok, I would be slain on sight by the Antam. They would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would cast aside his blade while he drew breath.
Can you search for it?
If I knew where to look, it would be in my hand now.
Fair enough. Where'd you find the Darkspawn?
Near Lake Calenhad.
Of course, yes. Don't worry, we'll find it.
Perhaps those words are empty,
Oh,
but
so we have an opportunity
you
to
all the
find
same.
Sten's sword, which could be useful.
you called.
Speak to me about anything else? I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Okay. Do you find Veralden very strange?
To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Your farmers wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are.
Well, everyone wants to bet themselves, I guess. Don't the Canary ones change their lot in life?
What does that accomplish? The farmer who buys a shop is never a merchant. He is always a farmer turned merchant. He carries his old life with him as a turtle carries its shell.
But he would have had to change from something else to be a farmer. So you know it's all. He might be happier.
Happiness is fragile. Nothing can be built upon it that will last. Only duty endures.
Do you think happiness is important?
You can learn to find it in doing your duty, in serving your people. There is no need to search for it. Shall we move on?
I suppose so. Is there anything you like about Ferelden?
There is interesting food here. You have a thing. It doesn't have a word in the Kunari tongue. Little baked things like bread, but sweet and crumbly.
Cookies?
Yes, we have no such things in our lands.
Sten has
This should be remedied.
a cooking obsession apparently. I'll keep that in mind.
Shall we move on?
You sound a bit homesick.
Perhaps. It's strange to be in a crowd and hear a language that is not your own. To see faces that are and aren't like yours. I miss the smells of Saharon. Tea and incense and the sea. Ferelden smells of wet dogs.
Right. Dogs don't smell that bad.
Skunks don't mind the smell of other skunks either. Shall we move on?
Did you just call me a dog? That's okay.
Speak then.
Okay.
Then I suggest we move on. As you wish.
I guess we'll move on then. Well, he approves of that anyway. Okay, why on earth are we walking? I apologise for this, guys. There really shouldn't be... Ah! Oh, for God's sake. That's typical. The run walk toggle is the same as the button that I press for to record and stop recording, which is a bit it's a bit annoying. Okay, so let's pet Jacob. He's very happy about that. Okay, that's always good. So is Alistair anything to say?
Something on your mind? Of course.
I think I do remember talking to him about everything actually.
Something I can help with?
About Liliana. I'm pretty sure we actually spoke to everybody about things. I don't know where Morrigan is. I'm generally not 100% sure. Oh, she's all the way over in the corner. I guess I'll go speak to Morrigan just to make sure that we have exhausted all options with her. As you can see, she looks a bit different than normal because we actually decked her out in her attire. So life in the wilds must have been very lonely.
At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
Fair enough. Did they speak back?
Don't be foolish. I recall the first time I crept
Just
beyond
asking.
the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. 'Twas encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
I can't imagine Plymouth was pleased.
She was not. Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me
Well,
a
you
lesson,
eat-
Flemeth
Oh.
took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
But you're just a child.
And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination.
It's true, I guess.
Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
Okay. They made you stronger, didn't they?
They did indeed. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
Okay.
I await
Speak
your
to anyone about
command.
anything else? I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you? I assume you were actually asking whether Flemeth herself gave birth to me. Truly, I do not know. I once asked Flemeth that very question, and she merely laughed at me. 'Tis not inconceivable that she could capture a chastened man, or perhaps change to a more attractive form to attract him willingly. I find it more difficult to imagine her with child.
Could she have stolen you as a child? She's not always old as she is now, is she?
As a matter of fact, I remember her being younger once. She had
Well, I
black
suppose it's an
hair,
aging
much like
process.
my own,
Makes sense.
long and lustrous. But how could that be if she is centuries old? Has she become wizened only recently? Or are the tales of her legend only that, and nothing more? I do know the tales of Flemeth having many daughters, even though I have never met another, and Flemeth has always treated me as her blood.
Does that mean you love her?
What an odd thing to say! Why must love enter into the equation?
Family? eh?
Flemeth taught me everything I needed to learn. How to survive, the meaning of power, the truth of men. If other mothers do not teach these things, then I believe them the lesser.
Fair enough. I suppose that's true.
You suppose it's true? 'Tis true. To indulge in love is to indulge in delusion. Surely a Grey Warden such as yourself does not believe otherwise.
Not really. I do in fact believe otherwise.
I see. Well, we all have our weaknesses, don't we?
Fair enough.
I await your command.
Anything else I can speak to her about?
So, full of questions, are you? Possibly, if I had the desire to. I do not.
I should have known you'd be a selfish bitch. And why not?
I was told to accompany you and to help you, and that I shall. This may extend to the teaching of my mother's skills in time. For now, I simply do not know you well enough. I promise nothing.
That's fair.
I await your command.
Personal.
We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Why are you still here?
I am here because Flemeth commanded me to aid you. Why? Do you wish me to leave? I can do so if you prefer.
No, thank you. No, I don't want you to leave.
Then I assume our discussion ends here.
Oh, oh no, Morrigan. No. She still likes me, but still, that's... Oh. I didn't mean to offend her. I was just asking her, like, if she want... Okay, what does Sandal and Bordan want?
If there's anything I can do for you, please tell me.
Have you heard any rumours?
I heard a strange rumor the other day. King Cailan was not really Merrick's son, you see. Merrick's real son is hidden in the bowels of Denham's palace and has been since he was born. I suppose they feed him cakes all day to keep him content. Maybe he's simple. Or a mage. Merrick's real son, a mage. Can you imagine?
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Probably not. Heard any other rumours?
I've heard a rumor that the reason Queen Honora has never produced an heir is that she's barren. It's a curse from the Maker for bringing a commoner into the royal line. Until someone of royal blood is put on the throne, there will never be an heir. It seems the royal line of Calenod has been broken for good, no?
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Fair enough. Heard any other rumours?
I hear that Tyr Loghain, the regent, is calling for new levies of troops. He wants to rebuild the army we lost at Astergard.
Because of him.
Thing is, there's not a lot of spare men to be found. Out at Dragon's Peak, there's press gangs roaming around, grabbing any free man they can lay their hands on. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Heard any other rumours?
Unless Isolde, the young Orlesian woman that married Arl Eamon, I hear tell she tried to poison her husband so she could marry his brother, Bantegan. Maker's honest truth.
Bloody hell.
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Heard any other rumours?
I hear from folks travelling the East Roads that there's werewolves in the Brazilian forest. Actual werewolves.
Werewolves.
They haven't been around since the days of Dane and his ilk.
Right.
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Oh, the clarification, I was making me laugh.
I don't know what to tell you.
Okay,
Nothing
fair
I
enough.
can think of at the moment. Are you sure I can't interest you in this hat? A pair of earrings, perhaps?
So what's
A
the story
cheap-
exactly?
Well, if you're really interested, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you.
Might as well.
I am originally from Orzammar, the famed dwarven city that lies beneath the stately Frostback Mountains. I was a merchant there, too. Merchant caste. These things are in the blood, you know. You can't just leave them behind. I ran a fairly successful
Similar
business.
to what Sten said, I
Rare
guess.
artifacts, you know. Old things, grand things. The nobles loved them. Reminded them of the lost glory days, I suppose.
Lost Glory?
Our kingdoms once spanned the length of Thados, from majestic Orzammar to Kalsharok to glittering Darmalin far to the west. They say the gold and silver veins ran so thick through the stone of Darmalin that the entire city sparkled. The Darkspawn took it all, of course. One by one, the old tides fell, and then all that was left was Orzammar. But we were talking about how I ended up here, weren't we? One day, a noble woman came to my store. She looked around for a bit and then started shrieking in dismay.
Oh.
Apparently, she believed that a pair of braces I had for sale once belonged to her brother.
Oh.
He'd been lost in a cave-in, you see, while on an expedition to clear out the Darkspawn from one of the tunnels running close to the city. They were made specially for him. They're unique, she shrieked.
Oh dear.
He stole them from my poor brother's corpse. She had me arrested on the spot, of course. Nobles.
That's nice.
They're touchy like that.
And did you steal them?
Well, I didn't steal them. You see, I'd been paying these castless thugs to venture out into the deep roads for me. The lost tigers. They're full of things that people left behind. Sometimes you can find a treasure.
Makes sense to me.
Something worth a little gold.
No one else is ever going to use them. Best to do something than leave them to rot.
That's exactly how I see it.
That's fair enough.
The noblewoman, she wasn't too happy with the theft of her brother's braces. I don't know what they planned for me, and I didn't want to find out. Bribed the guard that was watching me and took off for the surface first opportunity I got. Never looked back.
Fair enough. That's a fascinating story, thank you.
You're quite welcome. Now, is there anything the boy or I can get you?
Can of Coke, please. Where these goods come from? Not
Look,
deep
we
roads.
don't rob people, all right? We don't take things from people that need them. The things in the lost tigers, what good did they do lying there? I brought them back to Orzammar where people could look at them and remember. It's not all that
Again,
different
Pepper.
up here. There are places long abandoned by the humans everywhere. Even more now with the Darkspawn coming.
What do you mean?
People flee from the Blight with good reason, but they forget things. Things with value and meaning. They leave them behind because they're frightened and desperate. And sometimes, my boy and I, we find our way to these places before the Horde descends, and we save these things. I take them away so the Darkspawn don't get them. Is that so bad? They destroy everything they touch.
That's very true. It's better than having the Darkspawn take it all.
That's what I tell myself, too. Ah, these are dark times indeed.
I do very much
times,
agree
my
with
friend.
this fellow here. Did you mention your son in your tale?
Ah, yes. I'm married to a fine woman back in Denerim, it's true. She'd give me a son if she could, but that's not likely to ever be. Sandal here, I found him in the deep roads years ago. Abandoned, I think, and he was never quite right in the head. I took him in, and I brought him with me when I came here to the surface. He may not be my blood, true, but I think of him as one.
That's nice.
We left Orzammar.
That's right, boy. Maybe one day we'll see it again.
That was generous of you.
It's not as if I don't benefit, mind you. Turns out the boy's a natural working with enchantments. He might have even been lyrium-addled. I never thought of that before, to be honest. Happens sometimes. He can work an enchantment into just about anything, however, given some time. Could probably open his own shop, if he knew how.
Enchantment.
Well, he
No,
does
if you just
seem
run
to
around
enjoy it
screaming
at least.
enchantment over and over again, I suppose that'd be something. See you wares, boy.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected. And with your discount.
So, we do have a decent bit of money, to be fair. I do remember that, and we have a lot of things. I can't exactly remember what I'm using a lot of this stuff for. I think a lot of this is just gift and so on and so forth. This, so I can give so I can actually give these gifts to people. So I can give an Alcidol to Morrigan apparently. She can amuse stuff by inflicting indignities. That's quite good. So I guess we should actually be giving these gifts to the people, shouldn't I? If I can. So can we actually just have a look at all these. See, is it really worth buying them? Because it is quite a bit of money. If we just look at all of these things. We don't have any more health poultices. So we'll buy a couple of them. Buy 2 of them. Might as well buy some of the lesser ones as well while we're here. And the lesser injury kits, because why not? It's probably better to keep them on hand, I think. Look at that. 131 gold. That is expensive as hell. So we can actually buy these things, but again, they are very, very expensive. Well, compared to what we actually have. Well, we also have blood dragon stuff, which we need more strength for. I'm sure we'll be able to get them eventually. Backpack? Oh, increases inventory capacity by 10. Well, I'll buy a backpack then, because I'm Wait, did I just get gold? Okay. Experienced ranger. I'll buy that. I'll buy these. I'll buy a couple of these gifts as well, just to give to other people. And we'll leave it at that. So we actually unlocked the specialization there. Ranger. I'm not exactly sure if we'll use it, but still. So, oh god. So can we actually give these gifts to people? Yeah. I'm assuming they're other items. So if we give that to Morrigan. Give that to Morrigan. No? Is there a reason we can't actually give these? Or have I like already got them? Did I get like 2 of everything maybe? I don't know. Is that something that I might have done?
Do you expect me to carry this for you?
Oh shit! That was not a good idea. Right.
You have my
I'll
thanks.
give a couple of gifts to Sten to make up for that. Apparently he wasn't interested in my rainbow sword. The chant of light unabridged. So these things are actually quite offensive and probably in minus strength. Also, if you actually increase their approval rate, they do actually get attribute boosts and stuff, don't they? So if we talk to this Levi Dryden,
You're a hard man to
we
find.
assume this is a
Where are
merchant.
my manners? The name is Levy. Levy Dryden.
Oh, Levy. I thought it was
Did
Levi.
Duncan ever mention me? Levy of the coins? Levy the trader?
Duncan never mentioned you.
Really? He never told you of old Levy? We've known each other for years.
I've just broken his
But
heart.
here I am carrying on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens. And for me. But poor Duncan's... well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on. His pledge fulfilled.
It's intriguing. How do you know, Duncan?
It's a bit of a tale, that is. But I'm the one who brought the Grey Wardens back to Ferelden.
What?
Well, I was one of the ones. There were a lot of us. Maker's breath, I'm a bit nervous. Honoured to be here, really.
Okay. What promise did Duncan make to you? No, it's like, go ahead and tell your tale.
After King Marek freed us from the Orlesians, the Grey Wardens begged the King's permission to come into Ferelden. Some sort of internal business. Me and a mess of other Warden sympathisers spoke on behalf of your order. Tan Loghain was very much against letting Orlesian Wardens in the
Of course he
kingdom.
would be.
But
He's an
Marek,
ass.
Andraste, bless him, was a fair-minded monarch, and he let them in.
What promise did Duncan make to you?
Well, as you know, my family's name is mud around noble circles. My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last Warden commander of Ferelden back when the Wardens were known as freeloaders. So King Arland banished the Wardens, and he took House Dryden's land and titles.
Ah. What happened next?
Hard to say. After King Arland died, there was a civil war, loads worse than this one. And our family was on the run, hunted by enemies, with nary a friend in the world. But Drydens are tough. We rebuilt, became merchants, and we never lost our pride.
Fair enough. I'm surprised you kept your name.
Our family's only crime was guarding the kingdom against the blight. We're not ashamed of that.
So what favours you ask of Duncan?
I ask for the truth. My family reveres Sophia Dryden. We know she died at the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. We want evidence to clear her name. It won't restore our land or our titles, but it'll restore our honour.
It's a big thing, really. I've never even heard of Soldier's
Well,
Peak.
no one's been to Soldier's Peak since Ireland's days. At least none that's come back. I spent
Bit dangerous,
years
though.
mapping the maze of tunnels to the peak, and I found the way a few years back. So I went to Duncan, I did, and I said that he could reclaim the old base and my family could have its honour.
Ah, okay. Why didn't Duncan help you?
Darkspawn surfaced in southern Ferelden,
and Duncan got plenty busy recruiting new wardens and meeting with good King Caelan. Duncan said he would help after the Battle of Ostagar. Said there might be useful things at the peak.
And they didn't make
but
it
he
out of
never
the
had the
Battle of
chance.
Oscar. Damn. Okay. How will reclaim the peak help the wardens?
Soldiers' Peak has strategic and symbolic importance. Duncan said that it would be worth it right there. He also hoped to recover lost warden history and perhaps a few old relics. No one knows what's up there now.
What do you need from me?
I can pick my way through the tunnels at the base of Soldiers' Peak, but the place, well, they say it's haunted, and it'll be dangerous for certain. Will you think on it, at least?
If I was Feather Road, I will help you.
1,000 blessings upon you, Warden. I'll mark down the location on your map. When you arrive, we'll pick our way through the tunnels together.
Okay, so that's an interesting little side quest. We get to attempt to reclaim the old base of the Grey Wardens. So what have we got going on here? Oh, we can actually speak to Sandal, apparently it's a specific thing.
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
What enchantments does he do?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment.
Enchantment.
Yep.
And there you have it.
I want some enchanting done.
Enchantment.
Okay. So I actually can put this in to the Oath Keeper. So if I put that in, it gives electricity damage. Okay, I'll do that. All enchantment items in the party inventory, including those currently equipped, can be upgraded by enchantment, so as long as you have runes available. Select the item you wish to enchant, then drag and drop the desired runes at the slots of the item. Okay. So we now have a little electric blade going on here, which is good. So let's actually just quickly check our inventory, see what we have. So obviously these shields aren't as good as what we have. That's roughly the same actually. Just check, see if anybody can equip anything better than what they already have. I don't think they do. Don't think they can, sorry. What weapons? So we're keeping Bregan's bow just for when somebody can actually use it. The butterfly sword, what on earth is that? 12.10 damage, holy hell. That's quite impressive. So can... oh, so he actually can use the butterfly sword. That is useful. Okay. There you go, you can have the butterfly sword. But that means you can't actually use a shield. Okay, I see. In fact, we'll keep a shield in him, I think. I think that'll be more helpful for him. What about Liliana? Can she use the bow? No, she can't. She only has a dagger at the moment. Okay. So I think we're more or less done there. So we will return in the next episode, guys. It's just a little bit more of getting to know the party, getting to know what the situation is. And the next episode we will return and we shall venture out into the wilderness and see what more tasks we can accomplish to try and get our army together and get ourselves back on track. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Do hope you've enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Dragon Age Origins. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.